What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Venom from the first movie Venom from Hot Toys. And if you want to order this figure, head over to bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. $4 shipping, double box your item. If you missed out on this one, there's another Venom from the second movie. They both look the same, honestly, so you could get that, instead if you miss out on this. But let's unbox this figure. The box itself, the packaging, it looks really good. It does have this shiny element to it. You can take this out and you can see another box inside the box. It's kind of like a sleeve, really, to hold up, because it's a heavy figure inside. And this sleeve right here kind of holds everything together. So once you remove this, and then all of a sudden you'll see the box fall apart. Now, not on my case though, there's some glues that is falling apart. Now you can see here there's another image of Venom here all over the box, really, and it's fantastic. The figure itself looks great. At one point this was a grail. This was going on for a lot of money until Hot Toys put an end to that like 2 weeks later. There's another figure, and I never thought, there you go, you see that glue that was taken out right there. This is kind of like the window of the box, so it's a heavy piece, so you can just put this inside there. And I'm not gonna unbox this on the screen. It's gonna be difficult if you want to sell this to put it back there. I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but the tendrils and all that stuff, you gotta straighten them out and put it back in the box. But let's take a look at the accessories. He comes with a few hands here. This is gonna be the most popular ones amongst collectors, and this is kind of like the Venom hand. We see this in Spider-Man as well, kind of like the crawling type of fingers, where if he is like kind of like scaling a building or something like that, he would dig into his his claws right there, or his fingertips and all that stuff. And as you know, we do have a second head sculpt with a few tongue accessories, and this nice base of Venom. It's a larger base because Venom is a larger figure. Let's take like a zoom out look here, and you can see his eyes, beautifully done. And as far as accessories, he comes with quite a few. Now, this is not the special edition. If you do get one, you'll have an extra one of these guys. Not that I need more of these guys, but that one has just like an open mouth without a tongue on it, because this tongue is not magnetic. You can't take it out. You can move this around. This is wired perhaps, but you could position them however you want, and this just goes in the back. Pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, the accessories that comes with this Venom is enough to keep you entertained and to make you try different poses. You do have this, what do you call this, this sword that he does have. Now, it does not have a handle, so you're gonna insert it in one of the hands, and I would suggest once you do not take them out, because that hand's purpose is purposely to hold that sword, and it's quite sharp. So I don't know if you want to keep on removing and putting it back on. Now, this goes in place of the hand. It's nice how they incorporate this in the other hand as well. It seems seamless once you do have them all together. And now let's take a look at the body, or the paint application of this figure. This is a unique figure. It feels, initially it was touted as an oversized Marvel Legends, and I see where that's coming from. However, in hand, it has some qualities that is so unique, and it looks good. It looks premium. I would disagree to an extent to that, an oversized Marvel Legends, because maybe it's an overpriced too. But I see where that came from. But once you have it in hand and you see the paint application and how it does have the feel of Hot Toys. It doesn't have the traditional Hot Toys look, like the head sculpt and all that stuff, the tailoring, because of how the figure is constructed, and that's not Hot Toys' fault. But with that being said, I still think you'll get value out of this, especially if you're into photography, because on how good it translates to photography. In display as well, you wouldn't be disappointed, in my opinion. Now looking at the body, as you can see here, maybe the camera is not translating this well, but you see the muscle definitions, you see the shininess of this, like he does have like this slime on him, and you can see all the veins, if you want to call it. I don't even know what you call those, but the details are there. Now he's all black, but it's even at that, you can still appreciate the fine details on this one, the calf muscles, everything else from down to his foot to his fingertips. It looks menacing. And speaking of menacing, the head sculpt itself is great. Look at the paint application around the eyes. It has that sort of gradient look from just black turning into a different tone gradually, gradually transitioning. You can see the teeth has some nastiness on it. It has some grit, some dust, and just elements around this head sculpt. Even the jawline, which stems all the way on the top, almost aligning to his eyes. It's just beautiful. And again, it does have that shiny sort of slime element to it, and it's just nice. And you can see the teeth. Again, this is the smiling one. It does come with 2 head sculpts and a few tongue accessories, and it is magnetic. So that is the beautiful thing about this. You don't have to pop out the head sculpt and struggle with it, and you can position it freely, and because the magnet is pretty strong. But you see that head sculpt right there. I mean, a Marvel Legends can't touch that paint application. That is beautiful. Now this is another head sculpt included, and look at that. Those teeth is just beautiful. The tongue, beautiful in a Venom type of way. It is dirty, grimy. It has look at all the like the muscles, fibers running down his mouth and his jawline. It's amazing. And the tongue, again, I told you guys earlier, there's several tongues in here that we would want to take a look at. But let's take a look at this head sculpt first. So there's one thing that I wish that this head sculpt does have, is that so the tongue is being attached by a magnet, and I wish that that magnet thing is a little smaller or a little more hidden, because this is a good head sculpt as well to pose without a tongue, perhaps. Like he's just screaming or he's trying to bite someone, and by having that, it's like a black I don't know how you call this, but a magnet. Can you Photoshop that? Sure, but when you're displaying, I don't know. I just wish it was implemented a bit better, like this one. So the magnet was left there. I gotta take that out. So that magnet, you see that, like, it's not there, but you can still see the black mark in there. And let's take out this magnet, and I put this back in. I think I didn't know initially that magnet is not supposed to be there. I was just like struggling here. It's like, what is going on here? And I still was able to include his tongue, and you can twist this back and forth and all that stuff, and have different modes in this tongue. But do you really recognize them? You know what I mean? Like it's so I don't know, the tongue position, I guess, is the factor there, but it just didn't feel. It made a whole lot of difference. Let's take a look at the articulation now. So like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna take out the head, because I feel like I always feel like I'm gonna drop it, even though the magnet is really tough. And you can see there, you can pretty much move this around, and you can move the neck independently. And as far as the arms, you can raise it up sideways like so. It is ratcheted. Everything about this guy is ratcheted, even his elbows. This is as far as you want to put him in. Now, if you leave him in that position, of course, I'm not going to recommend that, but you could. Just saying, the legs, you could pull it down. And I've heard reports that these paint applications do rub off each other, so just be careful when you are positioning him. It does have that seam on the leg, and now on the knees, you can bend it as much as these as well, and rubber bodies, so it's gonna crease and all that stuff. And it has a black paint, so it might not be that noticeable, but it might crack. You know, that's the paint application and all that stuff. You can have some torso articulation here, but with the body being, you know, a whole suit, would you really see the difference? You know, and like I mentioned there, be careful, pull the legs down, raise the legs, kind of like when you're dealing with an Iron Man figure. That's how you gotta approach this Venom figure. And now let's get into some poses. So as I mentioned on the articulation, yes, it is a bit limited, but you still could put him in different poses and be imposing, if that makes any sense. You know, this figure itself, it is beautiful. He has tons of accessories that you can utilize to your liking. So whatever the scene is, you know, like this guy right here, I told you guys earlier, those weapons, you can put it on his arm and it could look seamless. You know, like right now, if you didn't know, you would think it's one big figure right here, and it's, you know, it's just changing, and it is, I think it's beautiful. And this is him, me, without posing him in putting him in crazy poses. I might do that more in photography, because you could kind of manipulate things and, you know, position him in a better way. And this is him in the bridge. You know, I put some tendrils in the back. Those things as well, when you attach them, they are soft at the edge, but it still gives me a little bit of, you know, fear that I might damage the paint. And I might not, but, you know, I try to take care of my figures as much as I could. This is almost $500. So, you know, and with another one looming, most likely this would not have any value whatsoever down the line. But I still want to take care of it, and I want this to last as long as possible, you know. And here he is in a dark alley, as you can see all the smoke coming out, and his little tendrils behind him with a tongue out. And you can see it is quite beautiful. Just a beautiful figure, in my opinion. If you were into Spider-Man, and not even that, it's just so unique as a Hot Toys that I am sure you're going to have a lot of fun not only displaying him, but posing him and having him mix him. He's kind of like having Deadpool. You know, he is an anti-hero that just has a unique presence in your shelf. And I'm pretty sure most collectors are going to have a lot of fun with him, you know, posing the tendrils, like, or having Spider-Man being wrapped around in those things. And that is fun. Speaking of Spider-Man, I just want to show some height comparison here. If you do have the Amazing Spider-Man, or any Spider-Man for that, you know, in that matter for Hot Toys, obviously Venom is going to tower over him. And this is him right next to Thanos. As you can see, he's just coming up too, you know. So he was teleported here. It's a bit shorter than Thanos. So you get the idea. Thanos is shorter than Hulk. So he's a lot shorter than Hulk as well. But with that being said, he'd still have this big presence, because you just saw him on right next to a regular Hot Toys, and he is towering over him as well. So there you go, guys, the conclusion of this Venom review. Thank you for watching. If you lasted this long, what can I say about this figure? I do highly recommend it. As a figure fan, the movie, regardless how you feel about the two movies, right, it's a hit or miss for some collectors or moviegoers. Some enjoyed it, some find it, you know, that just they don't like it. I was gonna use a different word, but regardless of the case, it is a nice looking figure. Now, if you are looking for a definitive Venom, somebody with, you know, a logo on the chest, I think we're still gonna get that from the Spider-Man 2 video game that will come out. I don't know, sometime. Is it sometime this year? Correct me if I'm wrong with that. Now, if you want to wait for that, go ahead and do so. This is an expensive figure, so if you just want to buy one and you really didn't like the movie and you feel like this is an oversized Marvel figure, I totally get it. But I'm telling you right now, you're gonna miss out on something cool, because this is really a beautiful figure and it's still available. Now, you could wait for the second movie as well, but all you're getting is like a pipe, and it has some missing pieces as well. But you will get the transition head sculpt from Tom Hardy going to this Venom, but then again, that is more expensive as well. But you're also going to get a crack at it if you are planning to get a Carnage down the line, and even better because you're going to get the bust. So depending on what your taste is, you can get this now, wait later, wait for, you know, the video game version, there's a lot of options for you, so you can take your time, I suppose, and enjoy what you do have and really make a decision down the line whether you want to pick this one up or not. But thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.